I just realized that if you look up some guitar educational videos on YouTube, you can find thousands and thousands of videos about the picking technique and the fretting technique, and there's very little resources or content about the left hand thumb. And I thought that's crazy. I mean, I found videos about it, but I just couldn't really find a comprehensive video talking about what we're doing with the thumb, why we're doing that, and how that idea is going to support the entire system of the left hand technique. So I thought that's crazy, but then I realized, wait a minute. I've been making videos for years. I have made over 30 educational videos for guitarists, and I also have never made one about the left hand thumb. And that's also crazy. And this might make you think that, okay, maybe the left hand thumb is just not that important after all. But that's wrong. And the real thing, what really is happening here, is that if you look up your favorite players, you can kind of copy their fretting technique, and you can kind of check their picking technique and grab some ideas. But the thumb is not something that you can really steal, the thumb technique and thumb positions. It's just not something that you can really observe if you watch your favorite players. And this is going to be a valuable piece of information we're going to come back to later. But as a teacher, most of the times I see my students from the front, right? I look at their hand from the front, and I get so overwhelmed and busy helping them with their, with what I see right in front of me. I just tend to forget about the thing that's hidden from me. So what I think is happening here is that the left hand thumb is very, very important, but it's just really sneaky. Now, if you are wondering, why would you trust me, right? You are wondering, why would you trust me? The only thing I want to say is that I've been observing and analyzing my left thumb for this video for quite some time now. And I don't know, I was meditating over the topic, I hired top British scientists to help me figure this out. And I'm gonna talk about this topic today anyways. So you might as well just stick around and see what I can share about it. And the most important thing is that I'm not gonna tell you what to do and what not to do. This is not the type of a video. I'm gonna share the concept I found, the concept that you can apply and tailor to your own hand and technique, and you can see if it's something that works for you or not. Now, we can't really talk about the left thumb without talking a little bit about the left hand technique first. And if you're confident about your left hand position and left hand technique, if you think you're a pro, I'm so happy for you. Jump ahead like 1 minute or half a minute and I will see you there. But I just really want to make sure that we all are on the same page here. So let me just grab the guitar. And so what's important here, this is a good position. So this is a relaxed left hand position, right? So I just let my elbow hang here. I'm not holding it sideways. I just let it hang or drop like this, right? I'm using the very tip of my fingers to fret. And I have this nice curved position. And if you are, if you would draw a line right between my second and third finger, you would find an almost perfect symmetry. Of course, it's not perfectly symmetrical because, it's not, but it's almost symmetrical. So that's very, very important. And what's also very important about the left hand is that I like to think about fretting less as pressing the notes or less as pressing the strings with your fingers, but more like pulling. Instead of thinking about fretting as clipping, as squeezing the neck, try using the natural weight of your arm and gravity to help you. So instead of clipping the strings, I'm pulling the notes into the fretboard using, using my upper body, my shoulder and upper muscles, and I'm using everything I can to pull this thing into the fretboard. Okay, so the first thing we need to understand about the thumb is that it's the extension of your lower arm. Wow, crazy, right? It's totally connected. And what this means to us is that if I just relax, let me just get a bit further. What it means to us is that if I just relax my arm like this, the thumb is gonna be the perfect continuation of my lower arm. It's the same line, right? It's the same line. And while these fingers are gonna collapse a little bit, this is just gonna continue my lower arm perfectly. So if I pull it up like this, right? I'm holding my wrist a little bit because realistically, you're not playing the guitar completely relaxed, but you're gonna have to, hold it somehow. So I'm not letting my, my wrist to just drop entirely. I have a little hold in it. But if I just do this, it's almost completely relaxed. But what I can see is that the thumb continues the lower arm, points up, and the rest of the fingers are collapsing. That's my natural position. So I'm gonna do whatever I can to apply this idea to my left hand position. One quick disclaimer here is that if you are not a classical guitarist, that's absolutely fine. This concept is going to be helpful for you even if you're a classical guitarist, even if you play any other style of music, as long as you hold the guitar a little bit more upright, something similar to what I do here. So if you have a little bit more angled neck position, this concept can be applied to your technique. However, if you hold the guitar more horizontally like this, first of all, stop it. Just stop doing it. You don't have to prove anything, okay? Just stop. And second of all, I don't think this concept is gonna work for you because this position is already quite messed up. No, sorry. So what I mean is that this position already puts a lot of tension on the different parts of your body. So I'm just not sure how you could apply this idea into this position. I expect I just made some enemies, so feel free to tear me apart in the comments, just bring it on. But what I want to continue with is that if you just hold the guitar in this position, in the normal position, okay, I'm gonna stop it. So if you just hold the guitar like this and you let your arm just drop very relaxed next to your body, what you want to do next, what you want to try is, without lifting your elbow, and more think about this next movement more like lifting a weight, lifting some weights with your biceps. I don't really know what I'm talking about because I'm a lazy person and I don't lift, but this is how I imagine lifting. So without moving sideways, but using the biceps, I want you to slap your hand on the fretboard, like this. Just slap it on, like that. Very relaxed, so, oops, just slap it on, just with no effort, just slap it on, and that's it. And now as I'm here, what I see is that my thumb in the back is pointing up, at least for me. I don't know about you, test it and see where it falls. Just a couple of times, just slap it on, grab the neck and see where it falls. And for me, these guys are kind of, I don't know, a little bit sideways and the thumb is pointing up. And remember, we said not to angle your wrist because it puts extra tension or stress on your hand, and we want to hold it as stress-free as possible. So just slap it on. You see, this part is straight, this is dropped, and my thumb in the back is almost like the perfect continuation of the lower arm, pointing not completely on the ceiling, but like in an angle like this. And when you do this, use the pad of the thumb, not the very tip. You don't want to use the tip, use the pad. And actually you can let the last joint collapse a bit. So if that's your natural hand position, you can let it happen. For me, this is how my thumb looks if I relax it completely. You can see there's a little break point in it. not that big of a deal. But for some people, it's more, it's more like this. And if that's coming naturally to you, you can do that. What you want to avoid is to use the tip of the thumb on the back of the neck, or to extend the thumb, because the second you do this, you already feel the tension in your wrist and in your hand. This next thing is crucial because the best thumb position is the one that allows you to maintain your optimal fretting hand position. So let's say this is my optimal fretting hand position on the first string. I have a nice, almost straight wrist. I have nicely curved fingers like this. I'm fretting with the tip of my finger. And if I want to move this on the sixth string, I have to move my thumb along. Because if I fix it, I would have to move my entire hand, my wrist, my elbow, everything in order to get there if the thumb is fixed. But if it's moving, if I let my thumb move, it's so much easier to just move the entire thing along and just move the entire system from one string to another. See, this shape is not really changing. The left hand shape is barely changing, and on the back, the thumb is moving along. So optimally, you want to find a really good left hand position first, or fretting hand position first, and find a thumb position that allows you to maintain it, to protect it at all cost, protect it at all cost. Just wanted to let you know that I know this might be a little bit overwhelming. I know we're getting deeper and deeper, but you're doing great. And we only have a little bit more, okay? We're like halfway through the concept. The simplest way I like to explain how to find your thumb position optimally, it's almost like if you were about to give me a thumbs up, hold your hand up a little bit like this, very relaxed. Let these fingers collapse, and if you relax your hand, your thumb is still gonna point up a little bit. If you can see my thumb here, it's almost like giving me a thumbs up, but there's a better way to do that. So if you scroll down for just 1 second and you just boop the like button, that's maybe a better way. And if you're already there, consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't done it so far. But anyhow, so just do this thumbs up kind of position, very relaxed. Thumb is the natural continuation of your lower arm, and bring this entire system behind the neck, right? You bring this system behind the back, and you want to stop the thumb on the back of the neck and bring the rest of the fingers forward. So what I see right now, you know what? Actually, the problem is that I only have one camera and you don't see it really well. So I have an idea. Give me 1 second. Okay, we have Hollywood level production here, but I made this little piece of foil. It's gonna be a guitar neck now. It's made of, this is something I use to wrap the items from my shop. Oh yeah, I do have a shop. Oh, you mean, what do I sell in the shop? I sell CDs and vinyl to my debut album, but I sell all kinds of things, but enough of me. We are here to learn about the thumb position, right? So let me hold it like this, maybe. Yeah, imagine that this is the neck of a guitar. We're going back to the thumbs up position, and you bring the thumb behind the neck, yeah? And the rest of the fingers, you want to put it on the foil. I mean the neck. You have a guitar neck there. I have a foil, you have a guitar neck. You don't have to make a piece of foil like this. It's only for presentation reason. This is a high quality educational video. So you have the fingers like that. And as you can see, the thumb is still kind of pointing up. I just aligned the fingers. Thumbs up behind the neck, and I aligned it. And I still try to maintain a moderately straight wrist position, and I just let my elbow hang. Now I want you to look at these pictures of famous players, and I want you to check the thumb position they have. What you see is that you don't see shit, and what that means to you is that you want to keep your thumb hidden behind the neck. You don't want to let it peek out on the top a little bit like this. You don't want to clinch on the guitar like this, because it's gonna cause some stress in your wrist, and it's gonna also limit your fretting possibilities. Now, this is how my thumb looks like under sterile conditions. Hang on. What's that word? How do you say that?
Sterile.
Okay, so this is how my thumb looks under sterile conditions. But obviously, life can happen, and it's similar to how you feel once you study for 15 years at school, and once you leave school, the rules of the game are totally different. Now, this is kind of similar, but at least this game is more fair. So obviously you have this optimal position, and you want to do everything you can to maintain it. But there are gonna be chords and hand shapes and positions, situations where you have to leave this optimal position. So as you have seen, I had this lined up position to present my optimal thumb position. But what happens if I have to play a chord like this? Or what happens if I have to play a chord like this, something? Obviously, I'm gonna have to leave my optimal thumb position too, to be able to adapt to that. And here I like to think about the thumb as a counterweight. Now, I remember I said that the thumb is not supposed to pinch or not supposed to apply pressure on the neck, but in some cases, when the force or the strength going from the top into the fretboard is not even, but it's focused into one position, for example, then you have to find a position for the thumb that helps you to even out, the counterweight. I'm not sure how to explain it in English. I wouldn't really be able to explain this in Hungarian either, but I think you get my point, right? So you are going to need a different thumb position for a bar chord, and you're going to need a different hand position for something, I don't know, where you have all the fingers in the same fret, for example, in the same position. And all you have to do is to find how you can support this from the back. But this also doesn't mean that you have to throw away your entire comfortable or optimal position which we just built up for you. What you can do is that while you play, you mostly can maintain your optimal position, right? So normally you play whatever you want to, and then you have to leave your optimal position for one chord or two chords like this. Now, after you played that chord, I want you to make sure to go back to your optimal position as quickly as possible, as soon as possible, because this position, this normal relaxed wrist, relaxed elbow, and straight everything will allow you to get to uncomfortable and unusual positions more quickly. Naturally, it's easier to go from here to here and from here to here than to jump from here to here, right? It's just, I don't know, I have no idea what chord looks like this, but I imagine maybe some weird contemporary music will make you go there. It's just an extreme example, but I'm sure you get the point. As always, if I missed something really important here, just let me know in the comments. If you think something differently, if you think about something differently, just let me know and then we can fight about it in the comments. It's gonna be cool. Now that you understand the concept, you're ready to move on to some exercises. And in this case, I highly recommend my favorite 11 exercises collection. I made a video about it. You will find it somewhere here on the screen in a bit. And it contains some exercises suitable for beginners. Some of them are more in the intermediate group or level. But here's the thing, even if you're not a classical guitarist, but if you hold the guitar in a more upright position like I do, it's gonna be very, very helpful for you. Once again, if you're holding the guitar horizontally I'm not sure. I'm not so sure about that. I also made a booklet about all the exercises, including the exercises in sheet music and tab form with a short description. I'm gonna leave some links in the description down below, but there's absolutely no pressure to buy anything. You can just watch the video for free. And once again, if you like this kind of content, please consider to support my work on Patreon on a monthly basis. Yeah, think about it. I really don't want to have a real job. I like doing this. Anyhow, thanks for watching, and I hope this was helpful for you, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.